What does it mean to remember who you are and to return home to yourself? In essence, what it means is acknowledging that you are God in human form, acknowledging the fact that you are honestly and truly the creator of your life experiences, that there's no separation between you and your creator. When you think about returning home to yourself, remembering who you are, it's remembering that sacredness that lives and that is housed within you. That you're not just a human having a human experience, that you are God having a human experience. That is the foundation and the essence of remembering who you are. So it's understanding and identifying your core identity. Yes, you've been given a first, middle, and last name. Yes, you have your birthday and your social security number, and you live at whatever address you live at, and your parents are who they are. Those are all true. That is that humanness, right? To identify that you're human. But beyond that, you are God in human form. You are God in human form. I need for you to truly catch that. And so it is your responsibility to know your true identity. Your parents were only used as vessels so that you have an entryway to experience this humanness. But remembering who you are, returning home to yourself, means understanding that you are sacred. And that sacredness that is housed in this human flesh, that you have the ability to operate from and out of. Right? So recalling who you are, your true essence, your true spiritual identity. That is what it means to remember who you are, to return home to yourself. We have this sacred internal compass that operates within us. And what it does is it gives us direction on how we should live our lives. And each of us have a different internal compass, meaning the direction in which I take in my life may not be the same direction that you take in yours. My life experiences are different from your life experiences. When we tune into that inner compass within us, it will always lead us and guide us in the right direction. When you return home to yourself and remember who you are, whatever the world told you you should be, oftentimes will go against what your true identity is. That's why it's so important that you remember who you are. so that you can live this life as you're supposed to live it. Right? So it's so interesting that most people forget. They turn and tune off that side of them because they listen to what others outside of them say they should be and what they should do. To remember your sacred compass is to stand in the presence of your deepest self, guided by your values, your passions, and the principles that have always been your true compass. It's remembering the person you have always been. It was before all of the other stuff, all of the trauma, all of the other stuff that caused for you to be distracted. It's remembering that you are a powerful spiritual being, a God. Shedding external masks, meaning as opposed to you trying to fit into a role or a life that does not align with you, it's taking that mask off. It's not about pleasing others, it's about what pleases you. Remembering who you are is the act of consciously removing those masks. It's about you being honest with yourself. It means letting go of the need of this external validation and instead finding your worth within. It's about reconnecting to the wisdom that lives within you. It's an invitation to your true intuition and your inner voice, the God in you that is speaking. My heart is so passionate. I'm so passionate about helping you to understand and grasp what I'm sharing with you, because it's important that understanding who you are involves quieting the noise and trusting your inner power to make decisions that align with you. Honoring your sacredness, that inner sanctum. And that means remembering that you are not a product of trauma or a product of struggle, because those were experiences for you to help guide you and to build this strength within you for you to harness the power, not for you to take this trauma as if it was there to crush you. It wasn't. It was there to build you. So you're not a product of the trauma, but you are a steward of the power that's within you. So you take what you experienced in that trauma and you use that as your foundation to stand upon. You alchemize that energy, that experience. So if it was pain, you take the pain that it caused and you alchemize that. You harness that and you create something beautiful from it. It's about you empowering yourself and accepting yourself, because ultimately it's a call to self-acceptance and this empowerment that you have. Then you're able to take that empowerment and empower yourself to be this dynamic individual, fulfilling your heart's desires. It's about you aligning with your deepest self. It's taking all of that you've experienced and using it. Those are tools. Those are tools to help build yourself in this human experience. So my call to action for you is to understand that this is a journey. Some things may happen instantaneously overnight. The shift within you of you realizing, awakening to this wonderful power that is housed within you. Understanding what it means for you to return home to your sacredness. Remembering how powerful you are. Remembering that you are God in human form. Taking those passions that you have within you and creating something absolutely remarkable for yourself. That you are creating this wonderful masterpiece while having this human experience as a God. So it requires for you to intentionally put this effort into returning to yourself with courage and with strength and with tenacity. It's an opportunity for you to literally take a moment to reconnect with who you truly are. And so I want to ask you some questions to help open up this inner portal within you to be able to help guide you and help you to see who you truly are. What brings you genuine joy, regardless to whatever anybody else thinks? What brings you genuine joy? Think about that. Something probably came to mind quickly, and it may take a little while for you to discover the answer, for that answer to come. But if you have paper and pen, I want you to write these questions down so that you're able to reflect on them, and then write the answers out so that you can see them. So the question you want to ask yourself is, what brings me genuine joy? Regardless to whatever anybody else thinks, what brings me genuine joy? My next question is, what is your core values? Oftentimes we get our core values from our parents, from our grandparents, from church, maybe even from work. But have you ever asked yourself, what is your true core values? what truly aligns and makes sense for you. Because that's important for you to know. And the next question you're going to ask yourself is, am I living in alignment with my core values? The next question is, when do I feel most at peace and most like myself? When do I feel most at peace and most like myself? When you have the answers to those questions, those are entryways, doors, portals back to yourself to help you to remember who you are. When I was a kid, I played a lot in the dirt. And oftentimes I did it alone because other kids didn't do it. I don't know why, but they didn't. And I would create things from dirt and mud. And I was so at peace with that. I was grounded. I was one with myself. And as time progressed, as I experienced more childhood trauma and that transferred into young adult, and that then trauma transferred into adulthood, I forgot that about me. I forgot how at peace I was as a kid when I played in the dirt, when I was in nature, when I was climbing trees, when I was eating from the blackberry tree from the window of my bedroom window. I remember that. And how pure that was. And even I remember riding my bike as a kid, and I would get up early in the morning, complete all of my chores, and be the first kid outside. And I would ride my bike for hours and hours and hours. So remembering those things helped for me to reconnect with that inner child within me, that inner sanctum, that inner pureness within me. And so now, guess what I do? I play in the dirt. Hence, my plants I have plants everywhere in my home, a garden outside in my backyard. I plant flowers and all types of different flowers and vegetables and herbs because that brings me joy. That's my true self. I hike, I cycle, I camp. I do things that I love doing that brings me peace and joy. As a kid, I also was extremely creative. I remember changing the furniture around in my bedroom and all types of different things that brought me joy. And so as an adult, once I began to deal with the trauma and heal through that, and understanding that those experiences was just there to help me build this strong foundation within me, I began to harness that and alchemize that and use those experiences to create the life that I currently live. And I am still creating because I give myself time to be comfortable with who I am and live that out genuinely. I no longer apologize for all of the gifts that I have, my creativeness, my intellect, spiritually grounded. I am so comfortable with who I am. And I take that comfort with me wherever I go. And I live my true self out because it's about honoring myself. It's about not apologizing for how powerful I know that I am. And I use that power to build the life that I choose to live, which looks different for everyone else. And I'm grateful for that. I don't chase materialistic items because that's just not a desire or passion for me. But I do love being creative, and I love being expressive, and I love sharing, and I love seeing people awaken to their true selves. So for me, it's important that I share this with you. I share this with the world because it's so freeing and liberating that I am my true self. I don't look to be like anyone else. I don't want to be like anyone else. I don't. I want to give myself this opportunity to experience my godliness in human form and do it my way that truly aligns with me. And so when you get your answers, these honest answers that are going to come, I want you to accept that for what it is, right? Because that's actually the first steps to the path back home to yourself, to remembering who you are. Start small. You don't have to conquer it all at one time, but allowing yourself the space for it all to reveal itself to you. And be intentional about it, right? Be intentional about honoring you and honoring the true you, regardless to who accepts you or not. It's not about other people accepting you. It's not about outside validation. It's about you accepting your true self. And it's not necessarily even about forgetting what you have experienced, but it is about remembering who you truly are. Sitting quietly with yourself helps for you to block out the noise, creating a sacred space for yourself, be it if it's a room. I mean, it could even be your closet can be a sacred place, to be quite honest, because it's quiet. If you close the door, it's dark. It gives you this sense of peace. It could be, right, for some people. It could be out in nature. It could be wherever that quiet place for you is. Be intentional about taking the time to get quiet with yourself so that you can reconnect with yourself. Because again, this is a journey. Returning home to yourself, remembering who you are, it's a wonderful journey because the more time you allow, the more space you allow, the more you're able to be fully engaged with the experience itself. So I want to leave you with this. I want to leave you with understanding that you are God in human form, having a human experience. So this is your opportunity for you to harness the power within you and create such a beautiful experience while you have the opportunity to. Taking whatever trauma that you've experienced and use that trauma as building blocks, as tools, as your foundation to create this beautiful masterpiece for yourself. You are that masterpiece. Returning home to yourself and remembering who you are is understanding how sacred you are. And when you understand how sacred you are, you will move through life differently. Everything about you will change. You will see past traumas as just an experience, that you don't have to attach yourself to that. That you'll understand the power that you have to create whatever you choose to create for yourself. That's the beauty of this human experience, is understanding who you truly are. You're more than this fleshly suit that you wear. This is just a case. And within that case is the God in you, the power in you. So you remembering who you are is more about you returning home to that sacred place within you. That's it. You are God in human form, having a human experience. Make this experience the best experience that you can ever make for yourself. Be one with yourself. Be aligned with your true and deepest self. So today I want to leave you with answering those questions, allowing the answers to come, being honest with yourself, embracing those truths, accepting yourself with love and compassion, and making decisions to change your life. Period. I am your host, Markia. This is You Plus You Podcast. And until next week, I want you to be blessed.